So what's the first thing to do?
Turn it off.
Ask permission first.
There we go, seek permission, always seek permission. Second thing,
Turn it off.
before that, I don't know where it is.
Lock it.
Unlock it.
No?
Health and safety.
So where is it? Where is it?
Find where it is.
That's it, you've got to locate the means of isolation. You can't just say I'm going to turn it off because you've got to locate it first, yeah? So, permission, locate. Then what?
Turn it off.
Switch it off, yeah. So what we're going to do, this is all going to be live. Yeah, well, I'm going to show you it's live. So we know that this is isolation for this. Now, I can't take this off with it being live, so you've always got to isolate it beforehand, every time, yeah? So we turn this off. What's after that, once we've switched it off?
Lock you.
Lock it off.
That's it. So switch off, lock off every time. Whenever you switch anything off, you lock it off. What happens to the key?
Put it in your pocket.
Yep. Cool. So now it's in my pocket. What's the next thing we have to do?
Test it's not live still.
Okay.
Turn off main
So yeah,
switch.
check the cover.
Sorry?
Take the cover off.
Okay, so we've got to take the cover off, but what do we do before we test it
Turn
live?
main switch off.
Yes, yeah, we've got to do that, yeah, definitely. Why do we do that? I forgot
So
that.
you
it's
it's
shot.
definitely dead.
So we know everything is dead apart from which point?
Your entry feed.
Incoming, yes, the incoming. It's only going to be live on the incoming if you've not turned it off at the right place. So I'm going to take the cover off now. Right, so now I've switched this off, I know that all of this is dead. The only place that it can be is here, which is the incoming, yeah? So what do we do before we start testing?
Testing.
Sorry?
Testing increment.
Before we test the incoming, what do we do before we test
Test
the
your
incoming?
tester.
Sorry?
Test your test.
Test the tester, yes. So, there's our proving unit. We can stick it, there we go, so it's working there, yeah? So, once we've tested the tester, we can then do the test. How many tests are there on a three-phase installation?
10.
10, so we've got 10 tests. Solomon, start going through them. Josh, you want to start counting?
Yeah, can do.
Go ahead, Solomon. What's the 10 tests?
Any the earth and alive.
That's it, so we've got Earth and L1.
And then any L1 and the neutral.
L1 and neutral.
That's what I can't remember.
So how many? We've got 3 lives.
I see do 3 that.
We've got 1 neutral and we've got 1 Earth. So what are the 10 tests? Recording, not to go through them?
No.
No? Who would like to go through them? Who reckons they can do it? Go on then, Josh.
So you got L1 to earth,
Yep,
L2 to earth,
yep,
L3 to earth,
yep.
L1 to L2, L1 to L3, L2 to L3, and you got your L1 to neutral, L2 to neutral, L3 to neutral,
9.
oh yeah, neutral to
That's
earth.
one everyone forgets that one. Yeah, neutral to Earth. That's our 10 tests done, yeah? What do we do after that?
Test your tester.
Test it again to make sure it's still working. Because nothing's lit up the whole time because it's dead. So we test the tester again, we can see it's working. Anything else there? 2 more steps left.
Where it goes up.
Sorry?
Yeah, put. Test again.
Get your sign on it.
Sign up, yes. Needs to sign up. And then the last one is begin work. So that's the safe steps to do. You start at the finish, and then at the end, you can now start working on whatever. The whole reason you took this cover off, maybe to replace a breaker or anything else. What's the order that we put everything back?
Reversing what we just did.
Reverse, yeah, it's got to be. Because I can't power if I take the padlock off this and power it up, I've got a lot of wires going to enter, which we don't want. So, reverse what we've just done. So what on these on this tester that I've got around the neck, there's a document called GS38 which I mentioned last week.
Yeah.
What is that document? What does it mean? What does GS38 mean?
Is that your specific volt test you sort of need to use for the job?
That's it, exactly, yeah. It's like the instructions of what tester you have to use for safe isolation. And what has this tester got to have to comply with GS38?
Got to have a safety standard sticker on it or something?
Well, it's got to be British standard.
Oh no, it's got to have
So it's got to be a fuse inside the...
Mm.
It's got to have fuse test leads,
It's got to have the finger protectors
finger guards.
and the retractable.
The reason it's got finger guards is so when you test on something, your fingers don't slide down and touch the live connections. What else did you say?
Retractable ends.
That's it, retractable ends. Yep, so they can be hidden, so we can go, so we can touch it without seeing the probes. Anything else? There's only one other thing.
The actual it works. The lighting.
Batteries.
Yeah? It's got to be durable, it's got to be unbroken. Yeah, so you can't use a broken one. Right, okay. The next one we're going to do. Right, everything's back on, double check. Cool. Right, the next thing we do is we're going to isolate a three-phase circuit. And what's that three-phase circuit?
Sure, 3 live cables.
That's it. So what circuit on there we're going to isolate? It's got 3 live wires on it.
Top right one.
That's it. So it's a motor. So we've got our motor here. Now the job maybe is to replace this. Yep. So what's the first thing we should do?
Turn out.
The first step of safe isolation.
Permission.
Seek permission. We've always got to seek permission. So you've got to ask for permission. What's the next thing we do?
Fine.
Locate means of isolation. I think it's that. It's only one with 3 fuses on it and this board. What's the next step?
Isolate it.
So what do? What's that?
Lock it off.
Switch off, lock off. Yeah. So we switch it off and then we lock it off using our...
It was just send you the video.
So put the key in your pocket again. So we switched it off, locked it off. What's the next thing we need to do?
Test it.
That's it.
So-
I'll test it. So before we test it, what have we got to do? Thank you. Yeah, nice one. Brilliant.
So we're testing.
Yeah. That's it. So we test the tester before we start. How many tests are there?
3.
Yeah, no,
So 3 phase, remember?
in it.
10.
So it's 10 tests again. If it's 3 phase, it's 10 tests. Yeah, we've turned off a 3-phase MCB, so it's got to be a 3-phase circuit. At what point do we test in here? What's it called again? Rory? Whereabouts do we test in here?
Because they're coming in. Income.
Incoming, yeah, so nice one. So where's the incoming? At the top, yeah, the outgoing is the bottom, so that's definitely dead. So what are the 10 tests then, Reza?
F to line, all of them,
There's my earth to live 1, live 2, live 3.
and then F to neutral,
Yep.
and then L1 to L2, sorry, L1 to L2, and then L3, and then 2 to 3.
Yep.
That's about it.
Or your lives to neutral now.
We did that.
Earth to neutral. I think that's it, I wasn't counting. But we did all the lives together. Oh, and then all the lives to neutral as well. We did all the earths to neutral. 1, 2, 3. So the neutrals to live as well, yeah? What do we do after that? What's the next thing?
Tester.
Tester. Cool, double check it's working. Nice one. And then what's the last 2 jobs? Sign, yeah. So we stick a sign up. And then the last one is
Begin work.
begin work. Yeah, it's now safe to begin work. I know this is 100% dead, so I can now say to me who's sitting there, this is now safe to work on. you're saying this is safe. Yep, so you've gone through everything and then you can definitely go, this is safe, I'm ready to work. The order we put everything back is
It's reverse again.
in reverse.
How does that switch connect to the actual?
This,
Yeah.
well when you turn that then connects the wires that come out of that into that to power it, and then we can turn the motor on.
Yeah, no, but like the wires are going into the switch, so.
Well, they're going into the top of the switch, and then the wires come out the bottom of the switch. Just like a light switch. You know, how the light
Yeah,
comes
the
in,
actual wires go into the lights, if that makes sense.
into
It's
the
like going
light.
into the black box. the lights.
Yeah, you imagine there's an actual switch under that, and then there's that front bit slots into a slot in there, which
Oh,
locks
yeah.
into, then that can twist the actual
So the
switch.
wires come into here, through here. So they come into here, there's the screws for them.
Oh, I see the actual big thing.
And then the screws at the bottom, and in there there's just 4 contacts that spin round. So I'm not going to do the single phase lighting circuit, I've talked through you that. I've talked through I'll go through the single phase board though. So make sure everything's switched back on again. Okay, we now can move on to the next job. So I want to isolate the single phase fuse box. Yep. If I switch this off, what's the first thing we need to do?
Commission.
Permission, always ask for permission. You seek the means of isolation. If I turn that off, is anything live in there?
Yeah.
Where's it live?
You put ink
Owen, where's it live? The incoming, yeah, the incoming here. So we don't switch it off here. Yeah, where do we switch it off?
that top fuse on the left.
It's here.
Nah.
If I turn this off, what does this turn off?
Everything.
That turns everything off. We only want to switch this off.
MCB, that's it.
So it's the MCB, the single phase MCB. I could hear people saying the right answer, but I wanted to get to the ones that actually say the wrong answer. So yeah, the single phase MCB
So do you
here.
know if there was 2 of them, there'll be another one of them boxes somewhere else in the house?
Potentially, there might be a lighting circuit coming off here. There could be anything. So this
Usually
is
they
why-
say they don't they on it, right next to.
Yeah, normally it says next to it, but it might not say, there might be nothing written there. So we think it's that one. Because it's a 63 amp, that's got to be for a large feed for another board. So we're going to switch that off. What do we do?
Switch off, lock on.
Thank you. I don't want to grab it because then that tells everyone what we're going to do. So put that in there. You're all going to have a go at this in a minute of using this device. Just be careful with it as well. 'Cause it's, what's the next? Have to switch it off, lock it off.
Test.
So I've got to go to the board, haven't I? What do I do before I take the cover off the board?
Switch the main switch on.
So I've got to switch the main switch on. So now I've switched the main switch off. I know the only place it can be live is the
Incoming feed.
incoming, which is incoming is here. Yeah, because this is off, everything else is dead. So what we're going to do
Income
first,
towards the top, yeah? Income towards the top of that.
maybe not always, but you can see the cables coming out, you can see the cable coming to there from there. So what we're going to do first,
Test the tester.
that's it, so we're going to test the tester, make sure it works. How many tests are involved in this, Kasai?
Just 3, isn't it?
3, yeah. What's the 3 tests?
Live.
Live to neutral, live to earth,
And neutral.
that's it, yeah. Oh, there's only 3 tests. What do we do next?
Test the tester.
Test the tester. Every time we've used this, we have to test the tester to make sure it works. Yeah. What do we do now?
Sign.
Signage. The last thing,
Yeah.
begin work. Yeah, that's it. Every single time. So we're going backwards, putting everything back on. I'm not going to test the next one. I'm just going to run through it.
so bad. Is he sending you that? Oh, well, I'll just turn this off now.
Do you want me to send you one?
Yeah, please, yeah. My fucking lost Samsung's the best stuff.
Let's bring it back on again.
No.
Right, okay, so I'm not going to go through this test on the last one. Well, I'm going to go through it, I'm not going to physically do it. So, Rory, what's the first thing we should do?
That's with permission.
That's permission. Oh wait, what's the second thing we should do? Before that?
Test. Find it.
No, well before that.
I don't know.
Well then,
Locate it.
locate means of isolation. So, it's a lighting circuit that I want you to isolate. So what circuit we're going to isolate in here? Which fuse? How do we know what
6
fuse
amp
is?
LCB.
So we all should know a 6 amp fuse is for lighting, yeah? There's only one 6 amp fuse, so we're going to switch that off and
Lock it up.
lock it off, yeah, so we're going to chuck that in there. So where are we going to test that?
Test it on your light.
We're going to test at the light. So far what we've seen in the workshop, when anything's in conduit, there's never a neutral at the switch, because the neutral comes from here and just goes straight through to the light. So we can't test here because there's no neutral to test, so it's got to be at the light. How many tests do we do at the light?
Yeah.
3.
3, yeah? Is there anything else we need to do?
How's there no neutral in the switch?
Because it just goes straight through. There's a wire there, but there's no connection, it's just the wire.
If there's more than one light, you test over like
Doesn't it go into it though?
No? You know when you do lighting in the workshop, you don't have any neutrals because they've all got brown sleeving on, haven't they?
Yeah.
So they're live wires. There's no
But it goes
neutral.
into that L2, doesn't it? Slot.
No, because it's a live wire into it. You're changing the blue to a live wire.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know what you mean.
Yeah? So you don't need a neutral at a switch. You only need neutral where you need power. Well, this doesn't use power, this is just a signal cable.
Should be a
Yeah?
break in the line, won't it? So you
That's
close
it, yeah,
it.
just breaks the
So how
line.
do you connect the neutral from that one into there? Does that make sense?
Well, the neutral comes straight from here,
To the light, won't it?
straight to the light. Because you don't need a neutral in here. You don't need a neutral at any switch. So we've done our 3 tests, live, neutral and earth, the different combination. And anything else we should do before we can test the tester and move on? Can we remember?
check that the wires are.
Turn the switch.
While we're turning the switch.
So it might be turned off at the switch. So you
That's
have
it, this is a switch line, isn't it? It's a switch wire, there's no feed, it's a switch wire. So potentially, if I turn that on, it could give power to the light then, can't it? So we've got to switch the switch and then do our 3 tests again. Yeah?
Can't you do it while you're doing it? So like put one in, then switch the switch in the same one.
You could do, but in real life, that you're not going to be able to reach the switch from the light. If you're working on this light, the switch is down there, so you can do your 3 tests, get down your steps, just double check, and maybe the test again, aren't you?
Oh, okay.
Yeah? Cool. And then we put it all back together. What's the last thing we do? What's the last... so once we've tested all of them, then what do we do?
Test your tester again.
Back to testing the tester again, every single time. And then what's after that, Solomon?
What's that?
Once we've tested the tester, what's after that?
You put the sign.
Sign up, and the last one?
Begin work.
There we go. Cool.
Do you know when you were doing electrical, did you always used to lock it off in people's houses? So
Yeah, soon as you film with me, every single time. Safe isolation is occurred every single time. The key is kept in my pocket. No tape is ever used to cover a switch. So yes, of course. They
Must
do it
have
every
saved.
single time. Safe isolation. Now on big sites, so there we go. This is it. You can stop filming now if you want.